Dear students, it is the third video for the week 9, and in this video we are going to have a discussion about Rousseau's theory of general will, the main points. Right? In the previous video we expressed about actual will and the real will. Students, the general will of Rousseau had these distinct points: unity, permanence, right to will, inalienable, source of democracy, reflection of public wisdom. Well, while explaining these points, Rousseau claims that the general will actually is the mixture of actual will and is the mixture of real will with the other types of wills that human beings possess. He expresses that initially the actual will exhibits in form of powerful expressions and intentions, but sooner these wills, the actual will, is mixed up, exchanged or reciprocal with the other wills, and they change into the real will. Okay. In the real will, the person prioritizes his society, the welfare of the society, and all these concepts. Well, this is to understand it in the simplified manner. You must think that if we express is from the human age factor, that since in the teenage an individual simply thinks about himself. He loves himself. Everything that he watched, that he said, what will benefit me? Clear? I'm just giving you an example. But as the age grows, as he acts into the family, gets into the family, you find that he is ready to sacrifice himself, his desires, even the needs, clear, and try to give comfort to the people who are affiliated with him. They may be parents, they may be his own wives and children, fine, or friends, or neighbors, fine. And really, I've seen many people, and you also, who in their first phase of life used to be a simply person centered to their own desires, but later on, when they exposed to the society, or they got married, or they bore children, okay, a sense of responsibility arose in him, and he started sharing the pains of other people. And you see just example of your own parents, that how they are treating you and their elders, and also they are developing relationships with the neighbors. And similarly, if we analyze the lives of certain political leaders, they do also had the same process of self-learning and consistent development. Actually, it is the time and the tide that provokes and drives the person right on the track of learning. And this is really interesting that no person born from their mothers completely learned and completely well off. Okay, no person born scholar. It is the luck, time, and circumstances. And the example is clear that those people you have heard at the every lecture the biography of every political thinker here in Europe, and you find that the most of them used to be a different person, but since when they faced revolutions, when they underwent different pangs and deprivations, those pangs and deprivations and atrocities would seed in them and exhorted them and drive them to think morally and consciously for the welfare of the society. And this is what the concept Rousseau is trying to express, that the story starts with the actual will and then jumps on the real will, and the combination of actual and real will gives the people a new definition. And according to hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a very famous hadith, the connotation cites like khairu khairun nasi mayan nas. The best amongst us is the one who is the best for the others. This is really a prime of all the democracies, definitions presented by the scholars. Well, now let's explain the general points one by one. Unity. Unity means that there should be unity between the real will and the actual will, fine, and there is no dichotomy. In form, when we say that a person should not be hypocrite within himself. Remember this, what means by hypocrisy or tension, that your mind is saying something different and your heart is driving you something different. Okay, heart normally drives you towards different aspects. So uh, this uh, this contradiction between the intellect and emotions, okay, between the real between the uh, animal like feelings and the human like feelings, clear, where it they both unite and there is no resistance, clear. This internal unity of human beings promote the unity in their society, clear, the internal unity. Okay, same Islam expresses them. Hypocrisy, मुनाफकत, मुनाफकत है क्या, कि इंसान के दिल में कुछ और है, दिमाग में कुछ और है और उसका इजहार कुछ और होगा, fine, and they hide their intentions under the very apparently very courteous manners, polite language, expressions. They are called normal sense munafiqeen, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed it a full length surah in Quran Kareem. Fine. Okay, coming to the point. He says that this unity of wills uh, promotes a union in the national character and integrity of the departments, and there is no difference, and they cannot be dispensable, because if this dispensation uh, gets common, it will shape into the different sectors, and these different sectarian or ethnics will destroy the nation. In the simplified words, it is said that an individual vowing a love for a state, living in a society, should not follow any kind of distinction between the actual will and the real will, because if the actual will and the real will is exercised within the person, obviously if a person holds a public office, will definitely get into different resistances, and the country will be in the problem. बिल्कुल सही बात है कि जब इदारे अपने आप को एक इदारा दूसरे इदारे से कानून से ऊपर जाके सोचे, मुल्की कानून से ऊपर जाके सोचे, अपने आप को दूसरों से बड़ा समझे. And unfortunately, when Pakistan came into being, simply one persons or different people used to be having these ideas कि कुछ लोग अपने आप को मुतबर्रक समझते थे. But the worst thing is, now the departments thinks themselves superior from the other departments. This is the worst thing. Okay, the differences between human beings are quite perpetual, and they are coming down to us since time immemorial, yet the differences between the departments are really the worst. Second thing is permanence. He says the general will is permanent because it is maintained and constructed according to the sense and understanding of the individual, and this may be called political intelligence, and this political intelligence sustains the government departments. And third thing is a right will. Right will mean justified will. This will is not based on selfishness, based on greed. Its sole intention and conviction is to bring betterment in the society. It is based on lofty, celestial, ethical traditions. Thereby, the very society remains rectified and correct. Inalienable, naqable taqseem, indispensable. Rousseau believes this, that the sovereignty and the general will are two inalienable portions. Both cannot be separated because people control the sovereignty, and these both things are not transferable. This is very technical subject you once should have understood. रूसो ये कहना चाहता है कि सोवरेनिटी और मंशा बाहमी, देखिए इसमें यह है कि जब हम वोट देते हैं, सही है ना, तो हम पूरी अकल समझ और ज़हानत का इस्तेमाल करते हुए देते हैं। ये आइडियल कंडीशन है डेमोक्रेसी की, अगरचे पाकिस्तान में ऐसे नहीं है, ये शायद थर्ड वर्ल्ड में भी ऐसे नहीं है। तो लिहाजा इक़्तिदार आला जिस भी बंदे को ट्रांसफ़र हो उसको इंसानों की मर्जी, अकल और समझ के मुताबिक ट्रांसफ़र होता है। तो लिहाजा इन दोनों को, इक़्तिदार आला को और सोवरन को अलहदा नहीं किया जा सकता। मतलब यह है कि भाई आपने जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनाया हुआ है वो दरअसल कोई एक शख्स अपनी ज़ात में मुख्तलिफ नहीं है, बल्कि वो अवाम ही है, वो आप ही का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, वो अपनी ज़ात नहीं है। His own life is somewhere else. Fine, this is what they want to say, and its best example, if you want to understand, you just understand it from the revolution made against the treason hatched against the Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan, when the armed forces and affiliated agencies hatched a conspiracy and they tried to hold Constantinople or Istanbul. The public came out and they resisted because they believe that it is not Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Actually, it is the will of people who have voted. This is called real political intelligence and the safeguarding of the concept. Third thing is sources of democracy. This general will is the prime source of the true political democracy, and by following these footprints, the democratic traditions and departments may foster or consistent. The last point is reflection of the public wisdom. This general will offered in favor of one person. General will, I simply say what? Shows off the intellect and understanding of the public, because it is the expression of the amalgamation of your all the wills. This is a bit tricky question. Let me simplify it for you. इसमें कहा यह जा रहा है कि जो हम अपनी राय, हकूक़ राय दही जिसे आप कहते हैं, वोट कहते हैं, या उसकी कोई भी किस्म हो जाए, ठीक है, आप रेफरेंडम कर रहे हो, आप वोट दे रहे हो, आप कोई भी इस्तिस्वाब राय का उसूल बयान कर रहे हो, उसमें जिस बंदे को आप सेलेक्ट करते हैं उसकी जो फितरत है, उसका जो तरीका है, उससे अवाम की सोच और समझ का इजहार होता है। और अब आप इसमें देख लें कि जिस बंदे ने जिस पार्टी को और जिस लीडर को वोट दिया हुआ है उससे उसकी उतनी समझ का इजहार हो रहा है। This is what the Russo want to say. Clear? The students, it is all with the points of Russo's theory of general will, and they are very important and interesting, and try to read these questions and concepts and find examples from your own democratic systems and the democratic systems prevailing in the world, and especially wherever something happens, some bill is passed and some revolution is made, some step is taken by United States, These all the things are part of your understanding real time political science. Thank you very much.